Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hope you're doing good. Please hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. But today is actually going to be a very short and sweet podcast. So, hello to everyone who's here already. Hello, Joan Kamata. Hey, Vera. Hope you're doing good. Hey, Robert Collins, Connie Balmer. Hey. Hey, Church Nelly. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. Now, before I get started, I just wanted to follow up on something that I said yesterday regarding a content creator who was going to do some kind of a video or debate with someone who's a known Megan troll. Now, this person has actually uploaded an explanation video as to why they were going to do this and kind of, I guess, explaining exactly what the situation was. And I generally got from the video that this person was genuine, that they wanted an opportunity to speak to this person's audience. And the thing is, unfortunately, with people like that and their audience, there is no amount of sense that you can talk to them. And it's the reason why, sorry folks, just give me a sec because I think my neighbor has actually started playing really loud music and I have to move out of this room. So literally give me 2 minutes. I'm so sorry, but I don't want loud music in the background while I'm talking. Okay, I'm so sorry. I do apologize. So I generally think that this person had good intentions, but the thing is, you cannot reason with trolls. And it's the reason why, in almost what we're going on 7+ years of this community forming, why none of us major content creators in this space go on their channels and talk to them and debate with them. Because first of all, these beyond just their hatred of Meghan, their hatred of Meghan is just an outlet for their bigotry in general, right? Meghan is just the avenue through which they express that. So why do you believe that you're going to be able to reason with them or that it's going to help in any way? And yes, it is true that there are hundreds and hundreds of channels, hate channels on here, particularly on YouTube. And I've said this before, and it's one of the reasons why I encourage more people to come into the space, especially on YouTube, because when you Google Harry and Meghan, it is true that, and this is the point that they made, those hater channels are what you see first. But I do not believe that going on these trolls channels is going to help. I think it does more harm than good. And beyond that, a lot of these trolls, and this troll in particular that this Harry and Meghan content creator was going to debate with, he is a known perv. I have seen disgusting videos of this person just being incredibly gross. And so aside, while I get that you may want to defend Harry and Meghan, you are actually putting yourself in danger by conversating with these people in any way because they are unhinged, their audience is unhinged, and their audiences are very big. So this is not something. So I'm saying this to any other squaddies who want to, who are perhaps thinking about coming into the space or who are in this space. Please do not conversate with Meghan trolls in any way. Do not go on their platforms. Do not talk to them. Don't think that you're going to try and talk any sense to them. You cannot. I think part of our strength here is that we have in this community is that we haven't engaged with them. I've seen even on Twitter, there was one quite prominent squaddie who was going back and forth with Meghan's mole, and it just went absolutely nowhere. And I think she even ended up realizing, look, this is just exhausting and it's a waste of time. I think that these people are gonna not necessarily regret their ways, but end up feeling very embarrassed by the way that they've behaved, and very embarrassed by the fact that they've been completely bamboozled, and um that their ignorance and bigotry is something that they need to check and deal with, because you have allowed a hate machine, you have allowed these trolls to convince you that this lady on the screen who was doing nothing but mind her business and fell in love is some kind of evil, mastermind. I mean, how ridiculous are you? So I think that they will have their time when they realize that they've been fooled and bamboozled, and we don't need to conversate with them at all. Some people in the chat are saying, who are you talking about? I don't want to say their name. You know, I'm just putting this message out there for anyone who wants to become a content creator or who is currently a content creator. Do not conversate in any way, shape, or form with trolls. You're not doing any good, even if you think that you are. Okay, that out of the way. Let's get on with it. I don't actually have like too many stories today. Today was meant to be a very, very short podcast. Okay, so first of all, the Middletons. The Middletons have come out of hiding wherever they were. They were at Ascot for day 2. It is currently Ascot, the hat-wearing horse racing parade, where all of the aristos come out with their hats. I've never been to Ascot. I actually do want to go just once, just to experience it once. Let me go wear one of these Mary Poppins cosplay dresses with a funny hat. I would absolutely love it. Just once. Who knows? Maybe I'll see the royals too. Then I can give you an on-the-ground report. should I do a GoFundMe next year so I can go to Ascot and do like an on-the-ground report, like what is really like? Let me get up close and personal with the aristos. Anyway, the Middletons were there at I'm joking, by the way. The Middletons were there at Ascot, having not been seen for some time. I think the last, were they at Christmas as well? Anyway, we haven't seen them for a while. The only actual Middletons that we've seen are Pippa, who was on holiday, and James, who was promoting his book. But we haven't seen Carol Middleton or her husband. And people were even becoming, it's one of the reasons why people were being very suspicious. There was, of course, that photo of Kate in the car with her mum, but some people were saying that's not Kate in the car. Some people were saying it's a fake image. And it added more to the suspicion. I actually think now, in reflection, the fact that we saw Pippa having a good time on holiday in the Caribbean, let me know that perhaps things maybe weren't as bad as we thought they were. That yes, something happened, but Kaiser made a very good point. So you all know I love Kaiser, it's a bitchy. She wrote this. She said, last week we heard that Carol and Michael were literally too broke to pay the insolvency firm, which had handled the sale of party pieces for 180,000. I'm actually going to read the full article regarding that in a moment. And the new owner did not take on any of the party pieces' 3 million debt. The fact that Carol and Michael are now out at Royal Ascot is fascinating for no other reason other than how the hell can they afford to keep up these appearances? That is a very good question. Where are they getting the money from? How can Carol's broke double snakes afford this 350,000 self-portrait dress? I'm sure their creditors would love to know. Speaking of, it's remarkable to read the British media's coverage of the Middletons' appearance at Ascot. Nary a mention of how they effed over banks, the government, they took COVID loans, by the way, and small businesses with their fraud. It's, oh, how lovely the Middletons are out at Ascot. Keep your eye on all of this. I've long believed that the Windsors were happy to throw the Middletons to the wolves all of last year, and it was clear that the Mids were declared persona non grata for a while. If the Middletons are being welcomed back with open arms by the media and the Windsors, something went down behind the scenes. I agree. And I suspected this the moment I saw how happy Kate was. Not happy like genuinely in my soul, happy like happy I won some kind of battle, happy. I think they've actually won the battle of the Windsors. Or at least this battle. I don't know if they've won the war. Because we know one thing the Windsors don't like to do is lose. And they'll do everything to win. So in terms of the issue with the insolvency firm, This is the article here. So Carol and Michael Middleton couldn't pay their insolvency firm's 200K bill. Party pieces owed over 2.6 million to creditors, many of whom had extended credit to Carol Middleton personally because she's the mother of the future queen. The Middleton's house of cards collapsed thoroughly as people learned of the extent of their debt and catastrophic business decisions. Many theorize that the Middletons still have money stocked away. I just don't see how that's possible, and I don't see a situation where a hustler like Carol Middleton would have allowed her social standing to disappear overnight if she had the ability to mitigate some of the damage. And remember, the Middletons were scheming for a while to get into aristocracy. And Kate, they saw that Kate was their way in. And once Kate was in, they were able to marry their other daughter Pippa, and also James into those circles as well. So I never believed that they were going to go down without a fight. And it seems like something after Christmas went down. Back in April, we heard a curious story about Interpath, the insolvency firm, which was tasked with arranging the sale of the now insolvent party pieces. Interpath incurred costs of more than $260,000 as they tried to untangle the Middletons' fraud and prop up party pieces for sale. The Middletons were too broke to pay Interpath's fees. Now, an update. Interpath has written off $320,000 in fees owed by the Middletons. As in, the Middletons are so broke they couldn't pay the insolvency firm, so the firm had to write off. When it collapsed, party pieces owed nearly $313,000 to the taxman and VAT. Its employees were owed $84,000, while trade creditors were owed $456,000. Banks and institutions and other lenders were owed over $1.6 billion. Interpath declined to comment. As it goes on to say, this also explains the larger disappearance of Carol and Michael Middleton over the past year. I mean, I guess if, being so embarrassed, we probably shouldn't have expected to see them, but given how suspicious everybody was getting, you would think some grandparents, something was going. You think maybe you'd have seen them, and I think that photo with Carol Middleton in the car, that was their way of saying, "Oh, we're here." But there was something very dodgy about that picture. They came out for the coronation, which happened before Party Pieces collapsed, and then they came out 6 months later for Kate's Christmas concert. The only time Carol has been seen this year is in that paparazzi photo with Kate, or was it her? Was it not her in the car? Now, Kensington Palace seemingly claimed that Carol went to a pub in Norfolk with Prince William back in April too, but the Middletons have been politically defanged, and they are now a huge broke liability for Kate. Like the fact that they couldn't even pay their insolvency firm's bill. Middletons have absolutely zero power now. Well, they're smiling away here at Ascot, so they must have something, some leverage. Oh, I wouldn't want it to be me. Okay, next thing. Actually, let me go to your comments before I get on to the next thing. Hey, everyone, if you're just coming in. Let's see. Hey, Elaine. Hey, Mrs. F. Hey, Faith. Foxy Brown, you said, I went back and forth with Megan's World once. He just posted disgusting lies that literally didn't happen. It just came in just to do that because of the M topic. Then it just yeah. Oh my goodness. I actually saw a video today. I'm gonna play it in tomorrow's podcast. You need to be very careful when you're online. And I would actually just say, don't even get into back and forth with people. Because now you don't even know if you're talking to a human or a bot. I'm gonna play a video on this tomorrow because I now suspect that a lot of my tweets that tend to go viral, within like, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes, you will find that all of these Megan trolls, and the accounts themselves look like bots, all of these Megan trolls come underneath my comment. The fact that it happens at that speed, you know that that's a bot. And now I've come to understand how they do it. It's actually really scary because it's not just about, someone hiring a bot farm to be Megan trolls and create this false narrative. It's also about other things like in regards to misinformation, especially now that we're in the middle of political run here in the UK and soon in the US. You've got outside entities who want to cause trouble, um, who want to sow division, and they're doing it through bots and getting into back and forths and arguments with people that aren't healthy debates. It's just rage baiting. Yes, Fatumata. I think we're probably talking about the same video. So I'm gonna actually play that video tomorrow because I think in general it's a very important video for people to see. Okay, so this nonsense. So there's a lady here, a Miss Michelle Charters, who was awarded an OBE. They had like a King's Honors list. I don't know how many times a year they give honors. I thought it was only once a year, but apparently they do it multiple times a year. But this is a Miss Michelle Charters who is the head of the International Slavery Museum. She has been awarded an OBE. Let me say that again, and let me say it slowly. The head of the International Slavery Museum has been awarded an OBE. I mean, what do you even say to this?
Well, next question. See ya.
First of all, let me just say that I really take issue with this museum even being called a slavery museum. Because granted, I will say I don't know the full content of what is in this museum, but I do take an issue with it being called a slavery museum. And because and I think this is an issue that comes up when we talk about Black history and Black history only being spoken about through the lens of slavery. And so while I think that that obviously should be something that we educate people on the history of slavery, there is so much more to our history as Black people than just slavery. That should just be a part of it, and there should be, when we have museums like this, or when we talk about Black history, it should be just under the umbrella of Black history and educating people about slavery and colonization as part of it, because it's an important part. But it's not the only part, and that's the issue that I have with things like this. Why couldn't it just be called the International Black History Museum? And then for her to have been given an OBE for the King's Birthdays Honours List, I personally do not think that she should have taken this. She said, as a Black person, this honour holds significant meaning, reflecting the progress we are making towards greater equity and representation, especially in my current role as head of the International Slavery Museum. Reflecting the progress that we are making when they dismissed, bullied, almost to suicide, the only person of color in their family while she was pregnant, by the way. I mean, to me, this is just not acceptable. It's not acceptable. And the reason I think that, the Royal Institution does these things to window dress and behave as if they're being progressive when they're clearly not. To this day, as we speak now, Meghan is being trolled online. As we speak now, there's some crazy person obsessing over Meghan and her biracial children. Progress where? Anyway, that's all I have to say about the royals in general. I just wanted to finish with couple. Oh no! That is not all I have to say. Sorry. One more thing before I get on to the last things that I wanted to say. Charles has a new money grab. And I'm gonna call it a money grab because anytime Harry and Meghan do anything that gives them gives them financial independence so that they don't have to suck off the taxpayer, people call it a money grab. So I'm gonna call this a money grab, even though Charles still gets partly funded by the taxpayer. Charles has been given the green light to build a luxury 25-acre glamping site on the Sarandon estate, with 15 safari tents boasting their own veranda and built-in barbecues. But they want to call Harry and Meghan grifters. They want to say something every time Harry and Meghan signs a new deal. Harry and Meghan aren't taxpayer funded. They don't owe you an explanation. But Charles can open glamping sites on the Sarandon estate, and this is apparently fine. Anywho, for all this time, that's all I had to say in terms of royal news. I just wanted to end by saying congratulations. We're bringing this back because I covered it at the time. Congratulations to Will Smith. 1 billion at the box office for the latest in the Bad Boys franchise. I hear the movie slapped. I hear the movie and slapping. And perhaps if Will Smith slaps Chris Rock again, it will make 2 billion. I cannot believe that they thought that we were going to cancel Will Smith because he slapped Chris Rock. A well-deserved slap. A long, well-deserved slap. Yeah, should have hit him again. Hit him for me. Should have hit him with a chair. So congratulations to Will Smith. And congratulations to the ancestors for finally giving Janet Jackson the justice she deserves. Justin Timberlake, how you doing? He was seen in handcuffs being arrested for a DWI. That's a drinking with intoxication. Is that what that means, my American friends? He blew a stoplight, and apparently he had quite a lot in his system. This man has trampled over so many women in his life. Janet, Cameron Diaz, Britney Spears, Esme Denters, the first artist he signed and dropped. I used to know a music producer that told me some things about Justin Timberlake, and I have resented him ever since. I'm not about to get lawyers on my behind and say what those things were, but I'm gonna just say that I resented him ever since, and you should too. And here he is doing the. By the way, Britney posted a picture of herself by the pool chilling. Good for you, Britney. And that's all I have to say. Oh, JL, driving while intoxicated. Thank you. All right, I'm going to end with your comments, and we'll call it a day. I did say that it was going to be a short podcast. Thank you as always for coming, folks. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe on your way out. We're almost at 40,000. Thank you so much to whoever bought me a coffee. Happy Juneteenth to you too. I'm British, so I'm not all that informed on Juneteenth, but thank you so much for donating. And because you donated, I will actually go and spend a little bit of time today educating myself more about Juneteenth today. So thank you. As a thank you for your kindness, I will educate myself today. I understand that it's to do with the Freedom Day, and it's meant to commemorate the end of slavery in the US, right? But beyond that, I don't know why that day was chosen or any kind of deeper context about Juneteenth. But I will educate myself today. Thank you. Kim Peaches, you said I love Will Smith and Chris Rock is a spider. April May, you saw the movie, it was great. Yeah, it's really looking like it slapped. I'm not actually big on these kind of action movies, if I'll be honest, but just because Will Smith went and slapped that fool the way I've been wanting to slap him for a while, I will go and see this movie. Yes, Fatimata, that is true. The bashing of the Sussexes is just a reminder that the haters are still mad because they haven't succeeded in destroying the Sussexes. Indeed. Miss Levy, more than anything, I'm glad he didn't run anyone over. Indeed. Glad people are safe. Yeah, karma working overtime. The way that they wanted to destroy Janet Jackson's career over this man, excuse me, he could have done more to stick up for her and he didn't. Oh yeah, I read this, Leslie, that apparently the cop was so young, he didn't know who Justin Timberlake was. And he said, my mom used to be a fan. And apparently Justin told him, oh, I can't get arrested, it's gonna ruin the tour. And then the young man said, what tour? And then Justin said, the world tour. You're going on world tour? Didn't your last album flop? Idalina, you said light travels faster than sound. This is why when trolls in the UK media appear right until they speak all right. Well, with that Telegraph article, I think they're really starting to realize that they can't just say anything that they like anymore. Oh yes, Janine Corner. Thank you so much for adding that. Juneteenth is the oldest known celebration commemorating the end of slavery in the United States. Thank you. All right, I'm gonna end things there. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. It's actually rather sunny in the UK. Finally, the sun is coming out, and I'm gonna go for a walk. See you later, folks. Ciao.